Hi guys, welcome to the Sexual Assault Awareness Month event. This is the third event of the series and it's called The Art of Healing. So I will go through what content we will be going through. So there is an introduction so you guys are comfortable with me. There is a question for myself to get my perspective on, and it's what is sexual violence to you? There are the 3 phases of sexual assault when it comes to healing that I will discuss as well. There's the obstacles in the healing process, which is what makes it difficult to heal from your experience. There are techniques for the healing process, so this gives you the opportunity to see which technique helps you best, or which one helps you for your close friend, or which one doesn't even help you at all. And that will be the end of the presentation. So a little introduction about me before we start. My name is Selena. I am 21. I am an early child educator in Surrey, BC. And I do have my own Instagram page, and it's called Bula Fitness. And it's a fitness and mental health page because growing up, I had my own mental health struggles and I was body shamed during my upbringing. And so I wanted to be the voice for other people who also experienced that as well. And I was doing the message to appreciate your bodies and just love yourself for who you are and don't listen to those other people. Also, I read my own books, and there are Disney collections that I have in my bedroom. I also watch horror movies. I love the Saw franchise, and I love exploring the outdoors. First off, before I start presenting my topic, I would like to acknowledge you may be watching this event for a family member, a friend, someone in the community, or even for yourself. I would like to offer my dearest sympathy and apologies that this tough experience happened to you or the person you are doing this for. Sexual assault is such a traumatic and hard thing to heal from. It is a horrible thing to go through. And I hope that my event can help you the best way it can because I know that you truly deserve that for sure. What is sexual violence to you? So for me, when I think of sexual violence, I think that someone is taking advantage of your body. So your body belongs to you. It doesn't belong to anyone else. And you were born with your body. You grew with your body. And so when someone does something without consent or without your will, and they are doing things to your body, or they are making you do things in front of them with your body, that to me is sexual violence because you are clearly violating that person's body and their boundary. There are the 3 phases of sexual assault, which I can discuss now. The first one is the reaction phase, and this is when you are getting overwhelmed with a bunch of emotions hitting you right after this event happened, or it can be any time during your healing process. So I have actually looked at some of the emotions that come from this phase, and it's shock, disbelief, embarrassment, shame, guilt, depression, feeling powerlessness, disorientation, feeling triggered all the time, denial, anger, fear, anxiety. And unfortunately, that is not all. There is also physical and behavioral reactions as well. So there's fatigue, headache, loss of concentration, loss of appetite, nausea, sleep disturbances, nightmares, and injury pain. Now, this is probably the toughest part of the healing process because with all these emotions, it's hard to push through. The second one is the recoil phase. And this is when you look okay. This is when you look calm. This is when you look normal. But in real life, you're kind of suppressing what happened. You are also kind of pushing it away and not addressing that it happened. And because of this, you are struggling with it internally. So you will have things like mood swings, or you will experience days where 1 minute you feel completely fine and the next you are going on an ultimate low. The third one is reorganization phase. This is when you are ready to pull that out and address it and acknowledge how that made you feel. And that's how you are going to be able to move on from that experience and heal. So, from my own personal experiences, when it came to sexual assault, I bumped into obstacles that slowed down and even paused my healing process. I will share these obstacles and other ones as well that might relate to your journey. So, obstacles in the healing process. This is what makes it hard for victims to go towards healing, and it can sometimes be such a struggle to push that wall. The first one is dismissing or underestimating the experience. So, this is when you are not letting yourself acknowledge and recognize that you had an experience that has hurt you deeply. And from that, I can also say that you are avoiding it rather than being honest to yourself. So, instead of addressing, like, hey, this makes me feel angry, it makes me feel hurt, you are just pushing it away. You don't want to address those feelings at all. And that is not very healthy, because what that is doing is, instead of it helping you, it is actually kind of hurting you inside. There's also doubting and lessening the experience or harm from the experience. So this happened for me because personally, from my sexual assault experiences, I always believed that I shouldn't be hurt as others. I didn't have it harder than others because mine did not include sexual intercourse or penetration. Now, the reason this is wrong is because everyone has their own way of expressing their feelings, and everyone should be allowed to feel their feelings. So, validating your feelings are very important for you to heal. The second one is facing the person or location in your daily life. So, this is a problem because you need space from the person that has done this to you. And it's hard when you are always seeing them, because that will bring back the memories when it happened. And because of this really, really hurts your healing process. So, an example is, say you have your boss at work that did this to you, and now you have to see that person every day because you are on a full-time schedule, or seeing a grad person in your class in most of your classes because they were scheduled with those classes. Or even if your husband or your wife sexually assaulted you, it's really hard because you have to come home to them every day. The next thing is resources, and sometimes we are told that resources can help you, but when they are not even accessible or available to you, that makes it even harder. And also when they are very expensive, so you can't even afford it with your income, then it is also a problem. The long wait lists are very hard as well because you have to wait a long time until you actually get that support from them. And family traditions and lifestyles. So recently, my friend told me about this, and I did not have any knowledge about it until that point. And basically, there are families out there who are anti-therapy, and they do not support their children getting the help they need because maybe they see it as a form of weakness, or they just need it because it hurts their reputation. But that's why I hate the stigmas, because it's not true at all. There's also fear, and fear roots from negative responses and judgments from family, friends, and community. So this can come from if your mom was like completely against you hanging out with guys and you went over to this person's house. Now you're scared, like, hey, my mom is so against me going to a guy's house or a girl's house, and this happened, and now I know she's gonna say, why did you do it? The second thing is not taking it seriously or making jokes. So when we express something to a person, we want them to listen to what we are saying, and we want them to be there for us. But when someone is making it a joke, that means they're not taking it seriously, and they just don't want to listen at all. So an example would be like, if a person went to a park in a dress and basically they got sexually abused over there, and this person did a bunch of things to that other person who was wearing the dress. So now this girl who is wearing the dress goes to a friend to tell them what happened, and that friend says, hey, you were wearing a summer dress. Like, how did you not expect it to happen? And that hurts because she probably had no intentions of it happening in the first place. This is a problem because I've seen many posts recently that say like that the way your daughter dresses kind of can lead to that, but it's not. It shouldn't be like that because we should be allowed to wear whatever we want and not even fear it to happen. There's also gossip. That's a huge thing in the Indo-Fijian community, and I'm pretty sure it is for other communities as well. Gossip is a problem because when you go to a person and tell them your experience, you don't want it to spread around to other people, and you don't want those rumors to grow or even start in the first place. So, gossip is a huge thing that I hate. I completely hate gossip. The other thing is people won't want to believe that it happened. So if a victim came forward, or even a few of them, and people are like, hey, this person wouldn't even do that. I know him since he was a child and we grew up together. There's no way this person would do that. They sometimes take the abuser's side over the victim, and that's really disturbing for me. There's also guilt and shame. So this happens when you are blaming yourself for what happened, you're taking responsibility for what happened. You're focusing on your actions compared to what the abuser's actions were. And the abuser is at fault. You are not at fault at all. You couldn't have seen what was coming, you couldn't have stopped what was happening. Also, letting actions happen because you froze is not it shouldn't be targeted towards you because maybe you did not know how to react. You did not know what to do at that moment. You couldn't even probably stop it. So it's okay. And animals actually they freeze as well for protection. They'll pretend like they're dead to protect themselves, their family, or even their babies. And it's okay. We are also living beings just like them. There's also the annoying thing called conscious, and that's the voice in your head telling you it's your fault. That's just like when cartoons have that angel in one side and there's the devil in the other side. Never listen to the devil because what the devil is saying is completely false. Never listen to the devil. There's also isolation, and isolation is so hard because you want to reach out to someone for support and you want to express what happened and how you feel. But you are not able to do that because you feel you are completely alone in this and that no one would even care. And I want to say that there is always going to be someone there that is wanting to help you. There will always be someone. Even if it's just one person, there will be someone out there willing to listen to your story. Also, internalizing your experience is really hard because you're not getting over it and it pauses your healing process for sure. Although I had obstacles in my healing journey, I also had some techniques to help me. I would like to share some and techniques that can really be helpful and beneficial. So before I do that, I will do a meditation exercise and I will stop my video so that I can give you that privacy. So I would like you to first get comfortable. You can sit down where you are, or you can lie down. That doesn't really matter. Now close your eyes, and when you are ready, I would like you to take a deep breath and breathe out. We will do this for a few times. Just listen to your breath while you do this. Now I want you to think of a place that makes you feel safe. This doesn't have to be home. It can be a park, it can be the beach, it can be somewhere outside too. When you have that place in your head, I want you to look around. What do you see? What do you hear? What are you feeling? And are you alone? When you have a clear perspective of that, I want you to say these three things and say them when you are ready. I am an amazing human, just the way I am. I am loved. I am important for my healing journey and in my life. I can only define who I am and no one else can. So I will come back on video now. The reason that we do this meditation is because we basically sometimes we feel really overwhelmed with the way we feel about things. We start criticizing ourselves, or sometimes our consciousness can go insane. So this kind of brings you back to that safe place. It makes you feel grounded, calm down, and that's when you start building that trust for yourself for sure. So now there are techniques for the healing process. So these might apply to you, these might help you, or these might not be so helpful, but it might be helpful for someone else that you know has experienced this. So reaching out to someone is very important because first off, you get to express how you feel and you get to speak up about your experience. But you also don't isolate yourself. So you have someone that you feel you trust and you feel safe with. And that is very important. There's also the important thing that you should do, and it's surrounding yourself with people who care. Never surround yourself with people who are judgmental because that will also bring you down. And being around people who can trust you and know who you really are, that's very important. Should people pitch in ideas on how survivors should properly heal? Or do we ask survivors what are some ways they would like to heal? So I agree to both in some extent because basically, when we want to offer advice about something, we should ask the victim first if they want it. Because sometimes what we do is we think that they want advice and we just swoop in to the rescue and kind of give that. But sometimes that might not even be the help that they need. Right now, they might just want to express what happened. They might just want you to listen to it and be there by their side. And I'm also going to say that there is a huge process before they are ready to heal. Like they have to acknowledge that it happened, they have to process it, and they have to deal with a few things before they're ready to heal. So they might not even be ready to heal yet from the experience. They're going through their own experience, their own process from it first. So even then, I think the only way you could offer advice is if they came forward to you and they said, "Hey, I need help. I am ready to heal, and I just need some advice on what I could do to encourage that." And then you could pitch in your ideas. But of course, we don't need to ask survivors what some ways they would like to heal because they will find that on their own. They will naturally find ways that help them. There's also therapy and counseling. So talking to a professional about what happened. And they also can have an expertise around sexual abuse and assault. And it's really good if you get that because not only have they worked with so many clients with it, but they also have like background with it as well and a lot of years of experience. There's also therapy and counseling known to be in addition to your support network. And it's really true because my counselor also says that if I have any emergency, then I can just call them on the phone and they can talk me through it on the phone. So I also would like to recommend moving families forward because they are a low income counseling group and they will recommend you a group that really helps you. There are also support groups, and this is when you get to talk about your experience amongst other people. And that's so important because sometimes we may need to see that we're not alone in this journey and that others have also went through it and that your feelings are not just like dumb and stupid, that other people are also going with those feelings as well. So you are surrounded with people who have went through sexual abuse, and because of that, you have a growing support for you in the room. So everyone in that room will support you because they know how you're feeling. Even if they don't exactly know how you're feeling, they will have similar feelings, emotions, experiences to you. And this is also a professional required support that you could totally do if you're interested. So, facing the experience is the number one important thing in the healing process. It's because it allows you to process what happened and you're not avoiding it. You're becoming okay with what happened. You're becoming okay with the memories that it left behind. So, when you're in the beginning of your journey, when it's just happened and it's fresh, then like you will feel like those memories trigger you and they will keep bugging you and hurting your feelings. But slowly, those memories won't take much of an effect on you anymore and they won't bug you as much and you won't let it bug you as much. So you are moving on and you are getting better in that way. It's also becoming okay with yourself. So in the beginning, you might have been criticizing, judging yourself, being hard on yourself. But now you are learning that that's not the way and it's not completely true either. And you're being kind to your body, you're being kind to your mind. And that's what it's all about. Just being honest to yourself, being kind to yourself is so important too. And you are not to blame for what happened. It's the abuser's fault. And just know that it's the abuser's fault for sure. So these are some lines that I would recommend to you guys. I've searched all this up for you guys for sure. There's 911. So if someone tells you they're in danger or if you're in emergency danger, you can call them up and they are there to help you. They will come and support and help you whenever you need that. There's 24-hour rape crisis line, there's Victims Link BC, and there's also the Women Against Violence Against Women Rape Crisis Center. And these are all anonymous, confidential. They will provide you free info and referral. But the one thing I like about the Women Against Violence Against Women Rape Crisis Center is that when you have had an experience, they will accompany you to the hospital so that you can do that test to see if anything has happened from it. Um, there is the saying that you don't want to go alone on a journey. You need someone there, and there is someone there to help you, accompany you to the hospital. And discovering yourself. So, finding out your interests and dislikes, recognizing your social circle. So, knowing who the real ones apart from the fake ones. So, just saying bye bye to fakies, saying hello to the real ones, and knowing that they're there for you. Beginning to uncover your worth. So, in the beginning of your journey, you may have felt low self esteem, low confidence. You just felt powerless. You felt like you weren't in control. You felt a bunch of things. But slowly, as this journey goes, you begin to feel that you are in control, you are in power for yourself, and a whole bunch of other things that improve. You also find out what kind of events and activities interest you. Sometimes when we are in a really deep, dark place, we kind of tend to lose track of what interests us and what really intrigues us. And so when you're getting better, you start to learn those things again. And they may not even be the things from the past that interested you. They may be new things as well that interest you again. And what defines you? Who cares what the whole society says about you? What defines you? What do you see yourself as? What makes you you? So, journaling is a technique that I do, and basically, these are some things you could do it with. So, writing out what happened that day and the aftermath of the experience, expressing your feelings and emotions on paper, documenting your mood and any physical pain that may be associated from it. Because sometimes when you are feeling a bunch of stress, that can cause physical pain. So, of course, documenting that is important. Writing to your support team and what you may be grateful for. So, when you address that you're grateful for something, it actually, studies show that it really helps the healing process. Writing, and your writing doesn't need to look perfect in your journal. I know there's this crazy expectation that you have to write so nicely in a journal, and I don't think you should even have that expectation. If you want to scribble, right? If you want to just dig deep in those papers and let it rip, why not? Because the goal isn't to have that fine printing. It's about letting your emotions out, letting you process what happened. Anything that your goal is, it wouldn't be fine writing. Also, if you don't like writing, there are other methods of journaling. So there's audio. So I do audio on my phone, and it's easy for me because I can take it wherever I want. I can sit in nature and record myself, and that is nice for me. There's also video recording. So if you're the kind to have like the video and you want to just act like you're doing that camera action scenario, you could totally do that. And scrapbooking and typing. So some people are project types. So scrapbook and typing would be cool because you have a book. You could put pictures in it. You can do whatever you want in there and then just have typing or writing on the side. So this is a video of my audio journals, and I have done a bunch of them. So the last one I did was actually yesterday because I was so nervous to do this event on Instagram Live. But because of a change of schedule, we were not able to do that. So that was okay. There's also meditation, so different kinds of meditations to help you. And there are basics if you're a beginner. There's sleep if you have those overwhelming thoughts at night that keep racing and bugging you. That can really help you. There's also stress and balance. So if you feel so overwhelmed or you're just tending to overthink things or a bunch of other things, you can do that for sure. There's meditation apps. I recommend Headspace. I started with Headspace and it's amazing because they have a range of different meditation podcasts, and they have single and course podcasts as well. So if you just want a beginner's one, there's like 2 minute, 3 minute ones, and it ranges all the way to like 45 minutes, I believe. And there's course ones that can take for 2 weeks. You could do it 2 times a day or 1 time a day, and it's good for that time. There's also Netflix that put Headspace Guide to Meditation. That's originally how I started meditation, by doing that, and I just was in love with it. So check it out if that is something you would like to do. There's also cultural meditation. I'm not an expert on cultural meditation, but of course, we can respect our culture. So if you like and prefer that kind of meditation that your culture does, you can totally do that as well. And there's also exercise and a healthy lifestyle. So go outdoors because the outdoors is amazing. It just shows how beautiful and amazing it is outside, how natural it is. And just seeing the clouds and the trees outside, it's beautiful. Getting that fresh air is also wonderful. There's also the importance of drinking lots of water. And that is because not only is it going to hydrate you, it makes you feel less tired. and you have more energy towards your day. Eating important Eating important healthy food is important as well because you're getting those nutrients and vitamins that are essential for your body. And the kind mindset with yourself. I have repeated it a lot of times because it's so important that you are kind to yourself and not beating yourself down. And balance. So when you have an experience, don't think that you still need to work full time. And if you can't, don't. You can go into part time, take time for yourself to process what happened or do what you need to do to move on from it and heal. And even if it takes months to do that, that should be okay. Taking part time for months is fine. Don't care what family expectations say because this isn't about them. This will be always about you and your journey. There is also spirituality, and I am not going to avoid this because I am very close to Bhagwan. Bhagwan is God in Hindi. I'm sorry that I said that, but yeah. If you are a person who is really close to their culture or look up to God in their daily life, then this applies to you. So taking a day out of the week for church, temple, I know it's hard with pandemic. Basically, I take a time for every day just to devote to God. I have a puja room here. I have a prayer room in my house, and that really helps me. I light up a candle. I do the incense, and that is my way of prayer. There's also home chanting as well. You can do the 108 beads, mantras, positive affirmations if you don't want to do things too close to God, which is fine because positive affirmations are cool as well. You can do your 108 beads, and I've tried it where you just say a positive affirmation to yourself with each bead, and it works. There's also songs and hymns. So what I mean is like in our culture there is bhajans, kirtans, and for church I know there are holy hymns that you guys sing there as well for Jesus or whoever your God is. And personally, growing up, please don't judge. I would talk to God. So I would, if I was really, really, really stressed, I would just look up to the sky and I would be like, God, today is such a hard day. And I would go on like that. And honestly, sometimes I would break down. I would get super vulnerable about myself, but it really helped me. I'm very thankful that I did that. So this is a picture of my chanting beads, and I usually do my chanting beads like every day, or I'm wearing it right now. So I am wearing it right now as well, and the reason I wear it is because I believe that the goodness from the beads kind of flow and kind of go in your skin and it flows through your body. So it sends a positive vibe. I also wear it at work. I haven't got any judgments from my previous work, so I'm very thankful for that they were respectful with that. And yeah, since I've been wearing it, I have been doing better because I would have these mood swings and I would get really angry, but this has kind of helped me with my understanding. I've been a more calm person lately, so I'm very thankful for that. Is it normal not to heal from trauma? I think I don't think you won't heal from trauma. You will. You will take the teeniest, tiniest baby steps, even if that is what it is. But you will heal from your trauma. And don't think that healing is a short process. Healing is very hard because what happened to you really hurt you and it really affected you. So just be patient in your healing because it could take months, it could take years. And you should allow yourself for that to happen. Don't rush it because rushing it doesn't really work with healing. It won't work because you're being rude to yourself, you're pressuring yourself instead of understanding and being patient with it. And yeah, I don't think you're completely doomed with healing. You will get there. It's just baby steps. It will take its time. And I want to give you guys a huge thanks for having the courage and bravery to attend this event. I know it must have been pretty hard to hear some of the obstacles because you may have went through them on your own or you may be currently going through them right now. And that's okay. Allow yourself to go through the obstacles, but also be kind to yourself. That's the number one message I wanted to send in this presentation. So if you guys have any questions about this event, feel free to reach out to me. My Bula Fitness and my main is over there. You can totally reach out to me. I'm an open person for any advice that you guys need, for sure. And there is also Shivani's down there as well. There's her Me Too for BC page and her main. And I'm very thankful that she has started this event because it's so important to raise awareness on sexual assault. And not many people know what sexual violence is or if they were personally sexually violated. So this event really shed light on me, and it may have shed light on the people watching those events as well. Check her page for more because there were a few events before me and there are a few events after me. So that is a way you can stay tuned to it for sure. And have a nice day, guys. Don't be too hard on yourself and heal safely. Namaste.